Making model railroad operations more fun can come in many forms. Today I'm going to show you something that is totally free and makes your operations more fun by slowing them down. And I'm trying them out with the latest run of Broadway Limited's N-scale NW2s and SW7s.
This video is brought to you by Model Railroad Academy.
I was listening to the Around the Layout podcast when they mentioned something called Traincrew, a way to make operations more realistic using just your phone. So I looked it up. I got it linked in the description if you want to check it out. It's basically a soundboard with a countdown timer on each sound. You have all sorts of choices. There are options for switching, coupling and uncoupling, and even locomotive inspections at the beginning of your session. All of this helps make your railroad more realistic when running it, and we'll talk about that later. If you're looking for more ways to have fun with your model railroad, whether it's scenery or construction or anything, you should check out today's sponsor, Model Railroad Academy.
Model Railroad Academy is your online resource for model railroad instructions, ideas, and information, with loads of tutorials and articles for model railroaders of every skill level.
One of my favorite videos that I've watched recently is making your own homemade ballast, and it's just a really cool tutorial that shows you how to make custom ballast in case you're doing a prototype that doesn't have a commercially available ballast. Plus, you can find tutorials on everything from bench work to electronics to scenery, all sorts of things there. The first 1,000 people to sign up at the link in the description below will get a full year of premium membership to Model Railroad Academy for $1.49. Offer is valid for new members only.
Okay, let's get to some trains. Let's take a look at the power we will be running today. This is the latest run of Broadway Limited's N-scale NW2 and SW7 switchers, the Union Pacific being an NW2 and the Norfolk and Western being an SW7. They are wonderfully detailed with die-cast metal construction. There's even some separately applied details such as handrails and grab irons. I also love details like the painted windshield wipers, which are pretty hard to do and you don't want to mess up on that clear plastic. These are both Paragon 4, which is impressive for an engine this size, and their sound comes with them being factory identical, but you can adjust everything in the decoder settings, including the horn and bell. Now, each of these are going to serve a separate purpose on my railroad. Now, I plan to run excursions on my railroad with old Norfolk and Western engines, and the SW7 will be one of them. The UP NW2 will serve as an industry switchers, and you can find old UP engines everywhere, including various industries to move cars about. So let's use it to switch an industry, and we're going to do that using Traincrew. Now, what Traincrew does is it basically simulates how much time it takes to do each thing. A lot of times you could be going down a line, and for instance, you could just throw a switch as you're coming down the line. Well, that's not how it works in the real world. So with Traincrew, you're able to simulate things such as locking and unlocking turnouts, doing derails, removing those, and connecting cars, connecting and testing handbrakes and air brakes and all these kind of things. And basically this slows it down a little bit and lets you go ahead and have a more realistic operation by allowing time to do those things, and it adds a little bit more fun to it because you feel like you're running a bit more of a real train. So that is how Traincrew makes things more realistic. I'm going to show you how right now.
Our train is coming around to do some switching at the local feed mill, and it's going to bring in 3 hoppers and take away 3 hoppers, and it has to do a little bit of positioning for these. Now to uncouple the cars, we're going to bring up Traincrew to do some simulation of setting the handbrakes and doing the uncoupling. Listen for the sound effects. The locomotive can now move to go do the pickups at the feed mill. Now we're going to simulate unlocking the turnout and removing the derail. Next for coupling. Then we release the handbrakes. And move to go ahead and grab that third car. Now we can go grab the drop-offs with the pickups as a handle and spot them at the industry. Now, the train can be spotted. With everything done, the train can pull out, lock the turnouts back down, and head out.
Now, I love Traincrew. I'm not going to be using it every time I run my trains. There's times I just want to pop on my layout and run trains for 20 or 30 minutes, but when I want to run a realistic operation complete with proper procedures, I'm going to be using Traincrew again. Now, I've linked it in the description below so you guys can check that out. It's totally free. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, and happy railroading.